All right, it's day 3 of our Walking Through Holy Week. It's in the middle of this week, and we've been using words from the cross of Jesus, the 7 last sayings of Jesus, and we've been using some words written by Max Lucado to help us focus on each one of these words and sayings. So today, we start in the third word. It was found in John chapter 19, verses 25 to 27. Standing close to Jesus' cross were his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Jesus saw his mother and the disciples he loved standing there. So he said to his mother, "Woman, here is your son." Then he said to the disciples, "Here is your mother." And from that time, the disciples took her to live in his home. The disciple took her to live in his home. Mary is older now. The hair at her temples is gray. Wrinkles have replaced her youthful skin. Her hands are calloused. And now she beholds the crucifixion of her firstborn. One wonders what memories she conjures up as she witnesses his torture. The long ride to Bethlehem, perhaps, a baby's bed made from cow's hay. Fugitives in Egypt, at home in Nazareth, panic in Jerusalem. I thought he was with you. Carpentry lessons, dinner table laughter. And then the morning Jesus came in from the shop early, his eyes firmer, his voice more direct. He had heard the news. John is preaching in the desert. Her son took off his nail apron, dusted off his hands, and with one look said goodbye to his mother. They both knew it would never be the same again. In that last look, they shared a secret, the full extent of which was too painful to say out loud. Mary learned that day that the heartache that comes from saying goodbye. From then on, she was to love her son from a distance, on the edge of the crowd, outside a packed house, on the shore of a sea. And now, at the foot of a cross, another length of distance to endure. "Woman, behold your son." John fastened his arm around Mary a little tighter. Jesus was asking him to be the son that a mother needs. And in some ways, he never was. Jesus looked at Mary, his ache from a pain far greater than all of the nails and thorns. In their silent glance, they again shared a secret, and he said goodbye. Today we're discussing the fourth word, a phrase from the cross that Jesus used. This is found in Mark chapter 15, and after that we'll have some thoughts on that fourth word from Max Lucado. So here we go. Mark records it this way, Mark 15, 33 and 34. "And when the 6th hour had come, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. In the 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud voice and said some things in Aramaic that I'm not going to attempt to pronounce today. But they mean," Mark records, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Of all the agony of that torturous day, the lacerations of the scourging, the chafing of the thorns around his head, the convulsions of his tormented, dehydrated body as it hung in the heat of the day, nothing reaches the depth of this anguished cry of desolation. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Jesus, who found his purpose and strength in the presence of God, who was sustained by the immediacy of his relationship with God, and who endured all the tangible power of God always at work within him, found himself totally alone on the cross. Jesus, whose very being was God, found himself utterly, absolutely, despairingly cut off from all that gives life and breath, cut off from all that gives purpose and hope, cut off from all the source of his being, cut off even from himself, plumbing the depths of the human condition to walk in the place of utter absence of God, in the place of sinners, in the place of those who reject God. My God, why have you forsaken me?" In these words is a central mystery of the crucifixion, which cannot be fully comprehended, that there is no despair so deep, or evil so overwhelming, or a place so far removed from joy, light, and love from the very heart of God that God has not been before, and where God cannot meet us and bring us home.